Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are on the sunny balcony. This is my in-laws balcony and I come here every now and then just to do a little bit of maintenance, to plant some new things. And this garden is the contrary to mine. Mine is in full shade for most of the day, this one is in full sun. And full sun in our climate is pretty tough because we garden in zone 8A, and while winters are fairly mild, the coldest it gets is like minus 10 degrees Celsius, but summers here are ridiculously hot and humid. Like in the shade, the temperature can reach 42 degrees Celsius easily. So in full sun, when I come here in the middle of summer, I look at the thermometer, there's no more scale left on the thermometer, it's like way over 50 degrees Celsius. So it's really hard both on the gardener and on the plants. So this garden is fairly seasonal because plants don't tend to last here very long. Even though, I plant plants that are low maintenance, heat and drought tolerant. I can't come here often enough to maintain this garden properly, and my in-laws can't really offer the time and attention these plants would need, to grow healthy and to thrive. So we tend to switch things up pretty often in here. So let me show you the garden first, and then we can start working on it. Oh, and one thing I forgot. I wanted to say that I have a playlist called The Sunny Balcony where I grouped all the videos that I recorded in this space. So if you need some inspiration on what you can plant in your sunny balcony, you'll find some seasonal compositions, you will find some plant ideas, some maintenance videos. Alright, so this is the space. We are going to start in this corner. Here we have two photinias. These are the only plants that my in-laws planted by themselves. And these serve here as a privacy screen, as a windbreak. And they told me that something is really wrong with these trees, that they are dying, and they said they want to replace them. But to me, they don't look half that bad. I mean, I definitely see there is some spotting, so we could be dealing with something fungal here. But honestly, I think you can definitely save them. I will see at the end of the video what I do with them. On the railings here, we have some little composition. I usually come here in the fall and I plant like a really beautiful fall composition that lasts through fall, winter and spring. But last fall I wasn't able to do it, so mid-December I ran to the garden center and I was hoping to find a few matching plants to plant at least something. I didn't want these pots to be completely empty. So we have some pansies. They are just picking up now, providing a little bit of color. We have a little Gualteria, so it looks, well, it doesn't look super pretty, but at least it's not empty and, sad looking. And then we have a grouping of plants in here. Clematis arabella over here. I came here earlier this year and I pruned it, and it's now, as you can see, growing beautifully, vigorously. I love Clematis arabella. It's very small, grows maximum 1.5 meters tall. Beautiful lilac colored flowers, and for us it blooms pretty much all summer long. Like it starts to bloom at the end of spring and goes all the way until autumn. And then we have a Passiflora Eapopeia that I brought here last year from my balcony because it grew very vigorously and very beautiful, but I ran out of space. We don't have any sign of growth yet. If you have a passion flower, don't worry if you don't see any signs of growth. They wake up really late from their dormancy. Alright, so before we start planting, we are going to remove all of these weeds and remains of last year's plants. I'm not going to be changing any soil in these. I recently posted a video about soil, what type of soil I use and how I reuse soil in my garden, and I followed the same principle in here. We never change the soil really. We just scrape the top layer and top it with fresh compost and stuff like that, and we've been using the same soil here for years and it's still very good quality. So I'm removing these cyclamens. As you can see, they still look absolutely stunning. It would be a shame to get rid of them. So we are going to be transferring them in here just to provide a little bit of color. I mean, look at the soil. Excellent quality. And there's plenty of earthworms too. We had beautiful echinaceas in here last year. And I see that this one actually survived. The other one did not, but this one survived. So I think I'm gonna just plant it in another pot because it would be a shame to get rid of it. It was absolutely stunning. Don't remember the name of it, but I will pop a picture on the screen. Well, that was quick. Now let's get into planting some really exciting things. I'm gonna be planting some summer bulbs that I just bought, and I also brought a couple of seedlings from my balcony garden, stuff that I grew myself from seeds. We'll be planting some edible plants, so let me show you. Alright, so I have my bag of supplies over here. I ran to the grocery store of all places because they had an incredible sale on bulbs, and I picked 2 dahlias. So I'm thinking of planting 1 dahlia over here and 1 dahlia over there. And these bulbs were so cheap. They were like €1.50 per bag. So they didn't have much choice anymore because all of the dahlias were sold out. These were like 2 last dahlias that I saw. So I took them. And we have Dahlia Golden Scepter and Dahlia Arabian Night. And dahlias, they love full sun. They bloom all summer long. So I think it will be a good choice. And, you know, they were only €1.50. So even if they kill them, it's not going to be like a huge loss. Well, the tubers are not the best quality, but I mean, for €1.50 you can't expect more. But that's okay. So let's just do this. And they start to sprout already. I see some eyes. And the other one. Oh, this one is very small as well. But that's okay. If you can spread them a little bit like this, that would be great. I don't want to do it with this one because I'm gonna break it if I try to spread it. Let's just leave it like this. You don't want to plant dahlias too deep, just like 10-15 centimeters below the soil level. And while we are at it, we are also gonna get these planted. So I'm just gonna add some soil on top. Look at this. Oh, glad that I noticed it in time. You see those little like transparent balls? These are slugs and snails' eggs. So we want to remove it before we put it in the ground. Alright, now let's take care of these bottom planters, and the idea that I have for this year is to plant some edibles. I'm not sure if they can keep them alive, but I want to give it a try. So I brought some of the micro dwarf tomatoes we seeded together. When was it, like a month ago? 6 weeks ago? Look at them, how beautiful, how healthy they grew. There's obviously a ton more of them in my balcony garden, but I had so many that I figured might as well share, and hopefully they can enjoy some homegrown tomatoes this year. So I have 4 different varieties that I brought with me. So we have Lois's Baby Tiger. These produce red tomatoes. We have Funny Plum Orange that produce orange tomatoes. We have Little Peeps that produce yellow tomatoes, and one unknown variety. I think it might be the Lois's Baby Tiger, but I forgot to tag it. So we have 4 beautiful micro dwarf tomatoes, and the great thing about those micro dwarfs is first they grow very short. They only grow about 30 centimeters tall. They don't require any pruning, any specific maintenance, and they produce a ton of tomatoes. Like one single plant can produce handfuls of cherry tomatoes. It is a bit early to be planting tomatoes. Like normally I would not be planting them until mid-April. Our last frost date is the first week of April, but I checked the weather. We are not supposed to have any frost. There's a slug in here. We are not supposed to have any frost, and my tomatoes, they are pretty tough. Like I've been hardening them off for a while now, and these spent the last couple of nights outside, and they are still alive. So I'm not really worried that they will not survive the cold temperatures. I'm worried something else might happen to them, but just in case, if they end up killing them, I have some more that I can bring later. Well, I'm gonna leave them the tags just for fun. In this planter over here, I want to plant them some lettuce. Lettuce that I grew from seeds. I grow it in my garden as well. We have, I think, 4 plants in here. And this lettuce does well in summer. Actually, it's a lettuce that you're supposed to seed in summer, but I seeded it now because, as I said, we garden in a high heat climate, so it gets pretty warm pretty quickly, and this lettuce is supposed to do fine. It's not supposed to bolt in summer. Yes. Success. I need to add more soil in here. Alright, this area is done. I just have to sweep the floor and water and fertilize everything. I'm gonna show you in just a second. But we got the dahlias planted, the cyclamens are saved, tomatoes, lettuce, and I ended up planting that echinacea we just saved. So this is how it's looking. And now let's take care of the trees over there. Okay, let's attempt to remove them out of their pots. Oh, well, not sure if that's doable. Let's pull the frame.
To remove it?
Yeah,
Okay.
pull it. Yeah? Okay, okay. Okay. You know what? Wait. It doesn't look half that bad. Alright, so we checked on the roots. The roots are fine. I thought they might be pot bound, but I did root prune them last year, so they shouldn't be too pot bound, but I did want to check just in case. They look fine, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a fresh layer of organic matter because I see that the soil level is pretty low. I'm gonna leave them the fertilizer so that they can fertilize them more regularly, and hopefully that helps. I'm also wiping the leaves with horticultural soap. It's made of vegetable oils and potassium hydroxide, so it works well for pests, but it can also help with some fungal diseases like powdery mildew. Here we are dealing with Photinia leaf spot, so because I don't have any fungicide on hand, the best thing I can do today is to remove the most affected leaves and then to wipe the rest with the horticultural soap. It's not gonna heal the plant, but it's gonna prevent the disease from spreading further. So I cleaned all the leaves, and I also planted some nasturtiums in here so that they can trail over the edge of the container, provide a little bit of color. Alright, so now the last thing left to do is to fertilize. I already mixed these two products in the water. We have Alga Grow, which is an organic fertilizer, rich in nitrogen, has algae extract, so it's great for the growth phase. And I also added a couple of drops of this. This is my new favorite product. It's called Super Thrive, and it's sort of a booster with vitamins and stuff. It helps with the transplant shock, it invigorates the plant, promotes healthy root growth, helps with the plant stress. So this is something I'm gonna use on these two trees. So I gave the same fertilizer to all of these plants that we planted today, Alga Grow plus Super Thrive. All of them got this one, and then the clematis and these guys, they got Alga Bloom because these are in full flower, and in all cases the climbers will be blooming pretty soon. So this is gonna be it. It was a very busy day in this garden. We got a lot of things done. That's awesome. I explained everything to my in-laws, you know, how to water, how to fertilize them. I left them the 2 bottles of fertilizer, and they are very excited. They are very motivated this year, so hopefully everything goes fine. So thank you so much for spending some time in the garden with me today. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see each other in the next one.